I don't really fully know what's going on. But this whole migration thing.
Yeah, so you're talking about the European migration,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. Like,
yeah. So what basically is going on? You got a lot of people who are, have to get out of their place of being because of the war in Syria and because of the instability in Iraq. So, excuse me?
Can I dime in? Can I check in?
That right there,
JLS on the check-in?
that right
JLS
there
check-in?
is the infamous Milo Ali right there. Of course,
JLS on the check-in. JLS on the check-in.
Uncharacteristically being polite and asking, but
Yeah,
being rudely and asking while we're recording.
Yeah, I mean,
So
hey,
Jamie will interject here and there, but basically you got people who are unstabilized because of the war that was started by the West, meaning America, East, Western Europe. Mm-hmm. Now they're flooding into Europe. Now
you're allowing that though?
No.
Well, see, the problem is
that's the problem.
Certain countries are, certain countries aren't.
Okay.
And there's certain things where there's one thing what you can we don't allow Mexicans to come over our border.
No.
But do they? Yes.
They do.
Right. So what you allow, so you can't say so flippantly, oh, they're allowing this. Like if 100,000 people come in, rush at you at one time, about 90,000 will get in. You only stop 10,000. You know what I'm saying? So
gotcha.
Trust me, they don't want this. They're not allowing it. But at the same time, if you allow something to happen that you can't control, but you try to control then you seem somewhat in control. You know what I mean? Okay, 90,000, okay, just get in line and you all can come in. Then they might get in line. But if you say none of y'all can get in and then they all come in, okay, now I got chaos. You know what I mean? So, you just kind of just work with what you have.
But it's a crisis at the same time, you know what I mean? It's not like a controlled situation where Mexicans can cross the American border and still be, and if they can't cross, they can still be safe in their territory. You know what I mean? They're fighting something different. Like, it's war-torn. Let me take, I got my mask on right now because I'm about to go to the parade. You know what I mean? It's Labor Day, you feel me?
Right,
but, well, not my mask, my flag. Done, no, Jamaica. But as I was saying, though, it's different. It's war-torn territory that they're fleeing from. And they're also fleeing over treacherous waters. The ways that they're fleeing are not as simple as Mexicans crossing the American border.
Well, people crossing the
so
Mexican
it's a little
border
different.
Who come from Honduras. Honduras is considered the murder capital of the world. So Honduras is considered the most dangerous country in the world right now.
Honduras?
Yes, considered more dangerous than Iraq or Syria, which is weird to me. It's weird. You can look it up. Yeah. Honduras is the most dangerous country in the world. The murder rate, the murder per capita is insane in Honduras. Now, I understand what Jamie's talking about. Jamie's talking about immediate danger and talking about displacement as far as public works. Like in Syria, because of war, you don't have public works. So you don't have trash, you don't have running water, you don't have electricity. That's different than we have all that. But shit, niggas just getting murdered everywhere. You know what I mean? So there's a difference between the two. And the people in Syria right now are facing a lack of public works along with war. Whereas people in the Central America, they just face rampant murder and rampant disenfranchisement. So I understand the difference, but when you look at the issue that we're talking about anyway, we're talking about Europe. We're talking about Europe.
Right. So I'm trying to figure out what's the correlation and what's the comparison between the Central American situation and the situation over there.
No, what I'm saying is everybody's fleeing from a situation where if they were there, they would get killed. And in order to be considered to be a refugee, you have to fill a certain requirement. And the people that are fleeing to America from Central America fulfill the same requirement for being refugees, which means that if I go back to my house because of the way I am, because of my race, creed, color, or certain circumstances, I will be immediately killed or I'm in imminent danger. You can seek refuge.
So you're saying that these European countries should not be letting in these refugees?
No, okay, what I'm saying is a country should decide who they can not let in. I don't think a country should have to let anybody in.
He shouldn't.
No, because Jamaica won't. Because Jamaica, which you just repped, is not letting in one refugee, and I don't think Jamaica should have to. Like that's not, you know what I mean?
Well, nor is there the room, nor the facilities, nor the public works that you're speaking of in Jamaica to house refugees. The countries that we're speaking of, though, they have. I mean, Bro, the picture that I saw on the cover of the Post the other day, I could only look at it once. It was so heartbreaking. Things have to be done, man. Certain times you have to bend rules, change them, break them, whatever, or excuse them, just to allow people to have safety. And
but if that's safety, it's easy to say that at the expense of somebody. Jamaica doesn't have the public works. Jamaica has the works to take in at least 500 Syrian refugees. I'm quite sure of that.
So they're fleeing from Syria.
Mm-hmm. Syria and Iraq, yes.
Okay.
Yes, but maybe because Syria is unstabilized because Bashar al-Assad, he pretty much just has Damascus and the immediate or surrounding areas, and that's kind of the stronghold because, like Libya, a lot of these countries in Africa, or in the northern part of Africa, people live in certain places. Like in Libya, people live in Tripoli, or there's one other, like there's maybe like 15 million people in Libya. But like 7 million live in Tripoli and like 8 million live in the other place.
So it's fair to say that other countries like United States, France,
not necessarily
get together and allow these Syrians and Iranian people to come in.
Well, not necessarily France. I mean, those countries aren't, European countries aren't big, and European countries are already like, you've been to Europe.
Yeah.
Where do you see room? Everything is tight already. Like, where do you see this kind of space that you live in? And you would live in, by our standards in America, a pretty small space for the amount of money you guys spend for this space.
And the funny thing, America has space. That whole Central America. I mean,
and take a guess how many Syrian refugees have we let in? Take a guess. I'll tell you right now.
Man, I don't need to take a guess.
There's 4.5 million displaced Syrians. Just take a guess. You guess, then E guess. I know
there's no reason for me to take a guess.
E, you take a guess?
I read it, so I don't have to guess.
Right. There's
it's actually 1,500.
Yeah, 1,500. We've accepted 1,500. You can stick 1,500 in South Dakota, and no one will ever know that we ever let 1,500 Syrians in here. No one will ever know.
Ever.
Why won't you just
you can stick another $3,000 in Wyoming, and no one would ever know.
You can stick 1 million in Wyoming. The only problem is they know that they will all vote Democrat, and there's only like 700,000 people in the whole state of Wyoming anyway. So that's no problem.
You know what I mean?
That's
you should be giving them a state.
I heard they travel somewhere too far, like they walk from.
Well, see, what happened was they were in Hungary, in Budapest, at the bus station. See, this is what's ill, because for the people who aren't familiar with the whole Politic Ditto podcast, it's all started because me and E went to Europe. I had been there previously, but E came along with me. E first time in Europe. So E's been to like stations.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. So
getting almost hit by trains and people walking all at the same time. It was an experience.
But also E, you've seen how they're way more centralized in public transportation than we are here in America.
Yeah,
and so you had like maybe like thousands of Syrians on a train just pull up in Budapest. That it would be the equivalent of like, just imagine like 5,000 Canadians. I mean nobody, you wouldn't be able to tell Canadians from white people, so it's kind of hard with that. But imagine like 5,000 Syrians pull up in Grand Central Station, and niggas are like, the police are like, okay, wait, no, y'all can't go on to, they want to go to Mexico.
Yeah.
Y'all can't go on to Mexico. So they're all in Grand Central Station. Like literally 5,000. So like,
just sitting
everybody who comes from Connecticut or who passes through there, you can't get to work, or you got to go through 5,000
people just in your way. Like,
and remember, they're outside. Remember, so then some of them say, you know what? Fuck it, we about to start walking from Grand Central to Mexico. And that's ostensibly what they're doing now. They're like, yo, fuck it, we better walk to Austria or Germany.
Really?
Yeah.
That's insane. That's insane. God, I just had to, open that question up. I didn't mean to just throw it at you coming from my break, but it was just on my mind. I figured you would know because, you into politics just as well as I am.
I mean, we're watching on CNN, people on the special lineup who are watching us on news channel 06002 BLFD, who have the special hookup. You can see what we're watching, and we're watching this live on CNN. You can see the footage.
So they just show Hungary, Germany. They got all these. It's crazy, man.
Yeah. So these are what we're watching right now is like basically people just set up tent cities. Like there's just thousands. Like look at that behind you, Eve. That's like, imagine that in Times Square, and it's just Syrians, and they're just trying to go to fucking
So you could just be going to work one day or whatever, and boom, you just come outside
That's
and
what
what
happened
you
to
see.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah. Just thousands upon thousands upon thousands of refugees. And remember, one thing that is people aren't thinking about that I saw a special on is these young kids don't have school. So, just imagine this, E. You have kids from Syria that are going to be raised ostensibly in Europe, different language. They're going to be how far behind in schooling? So they don't even know formal Arabic or where they're from.
Yeah.
Now they're not going to know the formal language of where they're going because where are they going? If they're in Hungary right now, they will speak Hungarian. Only people in Hungary speak Hungarian. But they want to go to Austria. Austria, they speak German. You know what I mean? And you might get a little bit of Dutch. You might get a little French in there. But if you go on to Belgium, as you know, E, because we've been there, they'll speak English.
Yeah. Jupiler is a good beer.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, hopefully we get sponsored by Jupiler. Shout out to Jupiler. You know what I mean? But, so, E, they're talking about a lost generation, E, where motherfuckers might not have any formal education. So if you're in a foreign country, what do you think these people are going to do? They're going to set up mafias, just like how Italian mafias did here. They're going to set up illegal shit because obviously they can get a formal job.
I'll let me when I get to the part.
Yeah. So they're going to have to, form different mafias or different different ways to get money on the black market because obviously they're going to have the formal education to get money.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so
I think we got to keep our ears and eyes open to what's going on right here because this right here is insane.
Yeah, exactly.
The next couple of weeks, we don't know what the fuck could go on.
Yeah. So all right, so about to take a break real quick. Next segment, we'll come back. We're gonna wrap it up with a little preview. We're gonna go to the West Indian Parade up the street.
Yeah.
But first, before that, we're gonna talk about got a little segment coming to you, E's Low Life.
Yeah, there's a lot of fresh gear coming. It's just that time. It's the fall.
He's a
Everything's
whore for
dropping.
Low Life, so he's gonna walk us through that. All right. All right. Peace. All right, back. Politic Ditto, Bam and E.
Just that.
Yeah, so I was just, trying to make E feel guilty for not letting me borrow a polo hat, but,
you can't just be giving out your pieces like that. It's back to school and all that stuff.
Even though I'm at his house and I'm coming back to his house with my computer, which is more valuable than his polo hat is at his house. But I understand.
Can't let that low loose like that,
you know?
You got to hold on to your pieces, cherish them and all that. It's fall. Right around, it is fall. It's back to school is pretty much here. So they got the collection coming out in like another 2 weeks. If you know, you know.
Right.
Now the purple label is dropping.
So for those who don't know, the trusty other half of, okay, we're going to say the other half because that means I am the other half. One half of the Politic Ditto podcast, E, is a polo whore, all right? So, just so you know, if you see him on Facebook or Instagram, whatever, he is a polo whore. So,
yeah.
I wanted to talk to E about this, just to kind of pick his brain about his obsession with polo, because he's official with it. He's not a Johnny-come-lately, you know what I mean? This is
what I do.
Yeah, I really feel this dude would give me money, but not let me borrow polo clothing. I really feel like,
it would probably be that, yeah.
He's a real friend of mine. He'll give me blood, I think, before he gave me his polo clothing. I don't doubt his friendship, you know what I'm saying, over this shit. But anyway. So,
you got, all right, boom. You got the purple label.
Uh-huh.
Then you got the basic polos, the classic RLs. But then they're bringing back a couple pieces like the Italian Riviera joint. A lot of people don't know about that. But you know what I mean? There's a couple spots that you could get. But right now, we're basically looking for the new rugbies.
Okay. See, that's what I buy. I buy, when I go to the polos, I buy
not the
rugbies.
rugby brand, because that's gone. Just the polo rugby, the actual shirt.
Yeah, that's
so
what
now they got different colors. You know what I mean? The denim is really what you really want to get on right now, though, too, because that has more of the Indian head, things like that. The scarves, the sweaters. You know what I mean? You can catch the classic teddy bear too, like the teddy bears that came out last winter. They got a whole new mirage of them with different colors, more up to date things. You'll see those more in the fall.
And the rugby I wore at the do over that time when I met Dallas Penn.
Yeah.
Shout out Dallas Penn.
Yeah.
He gave me a fucking shout out for that.
Yeah.
All right, so
yeah.
So E, so now
the U.S. Open stuff is out right now. You know what I mean? If you just want to get into that.
So